Salutations, y'all. Howdys and salutations, y'all. There we go. There we go. How are y'all doing on this fine evening? Hopefully it's been good. We are going to be continuing with our MySims month, fun times. Just because, well, a lot of different reasons. Part of it, I like MySims and I wish to play more of it. Do we need more answer than that, really? Singing MySims is fun. I'm not streaming for profit here. I can play whatever. But also, I've been doing a lot of focus on my art in more physical media lately. Specifically looking at things like sketching and sketching, pen work, learning how to use micron pens well, and doing some actual like studies from the environment and things like that. But it does mean I'm kind of burning my... I hate to say creative battery, because I don't think there's a limit to it. If you can get into the zone even if you're not feeling it. But, like, I've been spending a lot of time on that, and I would like to be able to do some other stuff for downtime too, you know? And apparently, I mean, I'll have to double check and see if it's still the case. Early on, at least, people were... Yeah, people actually watch these videos. Like, 10 times as many people as usually watch the stream VODs. Which, I mean, it's not a lot. It's usually like 2 and 25, but like, still. But the more important thing is, well, a little bit that, little bit, I just need a breather. Like, I definitely like burned myself out trying to do a bunch of different stuff last time. I want to think about what I want to do next with digital art. Because, as I have admitted before, it's kind of my least favorite medium. Like, I don't hate it. It's not bad. There's a lot of cool stuff with it. But it's not one that, like, I don't rest by doing digital art. It's not really relaxing to me unless we're doing like the full stream and we're getting into it for a while. But like, it's like a sketchbook. I can just sit down and be like, sketchbook, pen, boom, done, doing things, sure, whatever. Even if it's just like doodling a light bulb I see in the corner, just something. Digital art feels like it takes so much more concentration and effort. But the other thing is, I think that I want to point my energy in a different direction within digital art. I've often said on these streams that art is not one skill, it is like a dozen of them or more. You've got everything from proportions, not to be confused with perspective, not to be confused with do you want to do gesture or more figural or stylizing? Are you designing your own characters? Because that's a whole slew of different things from doing existing characters. Are you working on your line quality, your shading, your shadows, your blending? There's so many different things. And, like, you can have great strides working on any of them, and I don't know that there's an optimal order. Everyone's style is going to prioritize certain things and may ignore some of them entirely. But, as we've done these streams, I have sort of focused on different ones periodically. Early on, it was just learning the tools, like figuring out drawing with a tablet and digital art and that at all. Then we moved on to a focus more on, like, I kept dabbling with character design on and off, and then eventually just the simpler challenge of existing characters, but in new poses, because you're not just trying to copy existing stuff. I want there to be something unique to it. But also there's, you know, line weight and line quality. The jump we made when we went and did Millennia, even though it wasn't a new design, it was clearly just referencing the image directly, but we learned so much about line control and shading and color and, like... And that was a whole nother section, was color and hues and saturations and the differences there. But I feel like not that we've plateaued a little bit, but I feel like, once again, like, Millennia was a huge point that opened up a lot of new doors when we finished that illustration. And that led to working on new colors and hues, that led to new drawing techniques and new layer management and all sorts of things. And I feel like Miquella has been a similar milestone. Because some of the things we unlocked while we were working on that one was just starting to dabble with non-cel shaded art. Stuff that has a little more gradient, a little more blend, much different blends of hues and tones. And, like, I kind of want to push that further. I think it's time for me to start learning how to do, like, actual soft and smooth lighting. I think that'll result in some very interesting stuff. However, two things I want to figure out before then. One, where do I even start practicing that? Because I want to get on stream and do it, but I also want to have, like, a sense of what the tools even are and not just blindly use an airbrush on things. And then two, honestly, my stream art style, because most of my stream stuff is not done directly from human refs, so it tends to be a little cartoony, and I still haven't really figured out faces, although I continue to experiment with ways to make those better. But if I want to have smoother lighting and shadows, I also kind of want to get a slightly more realistic, like, illustration style to fit it. Like, part of the reason I love the cell shading is it's a style I like in general, but also it fits well with the cartoony line work. If we're doing, like, hyper-realistic, like, shadows and texturing and stuff on a very non-realistic form, I don't think it'll mesh so well. That's not to say we have to do hyper-realistic. I think experimenting will be a way we get to find the balance between cartoony and real that we want to do. But the point is, all of that's going to take a lot of time and energy and focus, and this month has two things going against that. One is I burned out hard last month, and two of them is my stream schedule is, as you may have noticed already, hot garbage this month because of all... between several things. Between holidays, where I'm sorry, but I gotta spend time with family. You know, I like family. And you guys are great, but family, you know? But two, almost more importantly as far as scheduling's concerned, I've just had like a lot of appointments. Some of them are doctor's appointments, some of them are social events, some of them are apartment hunting. But the point is, I have been all over the place, and my evenings are just a mess. And I'm looking at my calendar, and they're going to continue to be just a mess. I mean, I'm going to be honest, we're probably not going to be streaming tomorrow, because I've got another thing that would run right up to the stream, and I think I'm going to have to sort out some other adulting responsibilities after I do that other thing, so I probably won't be able to do the stream. And then, but we will maybe try to do it on Thursday. We'll see how that goes. Penciling that in, maybe Thursday. I'll throw that in the Discord too. And then just all sorts of things. Obviously out here in the States, we got Thanksgiving coming up the following week, and I've got different plans for different parts of that. We got more doctor's appointments after that. Jeepers, why do I have so many doctor's appointments? Bodies are high maintenance, you know? Convoluted things. Not that I'm complaining, I'm actually quite happy with how mine works, given how much it could have not worked. I'm not gonna complain at all. But, like, jeepers. Busy times. So, suffice it to say, this month, between all of that and dropping down to 2 streams a week just makes everything move so much slower. Like, there's such a gap, but, like, I have to refresh every single Monday. And like, I think it makes more sense. Let's just do a fresh, like a full gap, full reset for a while. And then we'll pick it up when we can actually do a little more streaming. I'm hoping, starting next month, I'll be able to get back up to sort of 2.5 streams a week. And what I mean by that is, we'll have Monday and Tuesday still. And then I'm thinking alternating Thursdays. I can't do all the Thursdays, I've got other commitments, unfortunately, but it'd be really nice to get back to at least sometimes having those, like, 3 a week. And the Sunday mornings were just, I don't have the personal, like, responsibility. Like, not that I can't make the Sunday morning, but I can't make the Sunday morning and then also, like, not pass out at work the next day. So, in the name of not losing my job, we're going to not do that. So instead, we're just gonna take it easy this month, have a little rest. Not that you ever have to justify having a rest. Resting is acceptable. In fact, it's advised. But I still sort of wanted to run through the logic, and it's a good chance to recap what's upcoming and all of that. So alas, no Hughvember. I've gotten a little hooked on Tumblr, that's been dangerous, but I'm gonna try to upload some backlog art on there since it's missing a lot of pieces, because we were originally using Twitter for that sort of thing. And, like, might be a good thing I can upload last year's Sword Timber and a few other odds and ends. I've figured out how to, like, customize a lot of that site. I've learned the tagging a bit better, learning to navigate it. Messed with the CSS a little bit to, like, customize the, I mean, I used an existing theme and then I tweaked it. I didn't build the whole darn thing from scratch. But I'm pretty happy with how it's looking right now, so, like, the Tumblr, it's linked on the website, but the Tumblr's looking pretty sharp. I'm excited. It's weird. Being on Tumblr for me is a little bit like, it's not like meeting a celebrity. It's like traveling to a place that you've always heard so much about, but you've never been there. Like, there's a little bit of culture shock, but there's a whole lot of, like, wow, I've seen pictures of that, and wow, I've heard about this, and like, oh, people actually use those tags, and like, and then because of Tumblr's weird system, like, the original version of memes from 10 years ago will just, like, resurface on your dash, and you're like, oh, cool, I've seen this for, like, half of my life, and now here it is, the original. It's been very surreal in a weird way. It's not to say it's inherently, like, a good way. The website is chaotic as all get out, and that's not always a good thing, but it's been bizarrely exciting, like, or kind of novel in its own way. Been funny, been funny. Because I have long been I'm not going to say Tumblr fan, a fan of the stuff that makes it from Tumblr onto other sites. Memes of like threads that get screenshot or reposted on Twitter or like shared through Discord or Skype in ye elden times. Or just wherever else, back in the very old days when I was still on Imgur and iFunny and 9gag and memes.com and yay, dark times. But well, they weren't as dark back then. They've all gone downhill since those days, unfortunately. But being on this site, like, I always saw Tumblr posts on all those other places, heck, Pinterest even. And so it's weird being on the actual site and, for better or for worse, getting kind of the unfiltered view. It's been better than Reddit was, though. Like, I enjoyed a lot of Reddit stuff that got spread online, too, but when you actually go to Reddit, it's a miserable website. Every community is different, but the overall vibe on that website is hostile. Not towards outsiders, just internally. I'm a little worried about just the overall mental health of that website. Mainly because it's so much a variety of different websites, all under one roof, and all of which seem to despise each other. It's fascinating. That one's fascinating. I don't spend much time there. It's not good for my mental health. At all. Holy cow, it's not. Tumblr's been a mixed bag. Tumblr's the only social media platform I've ever logged off of and not felt, like, kind of brain woozy and garbage afterwards. But that's only sometimes. It's still got, like, a 50-50 chance of being bad. But that's better than the, like, 99% chance that, like, Facebook's a disaster. Twitter's a big disaster. Oh, hello, Sifbot. Cool, that still works. Good to know. I need to go maintain the Discord a little bit. That is on me. One of these days. Nah, we'll see. But like, I don't know. Like, Tumblr, it's been sometimes enjoyable on that website. Which is, frankly, the highest praise I can give any social media platform. I guess Discord's social media, too. It's just such a different format that, like, it doesn't feel like it's in the same ballpark. Like, it's in the family with, like, GroupMe and Slack. Like, they're so different. They're closer to, like, group texts. Crazy, weird group texts with bonus features. Less so, like, social media platforms. At least the way I've been using them. Anyway, I've been rambling for ages, and we're not playing MySims. Why don't we play some MySims? Oh, we're almost caught up to the time on the other file. We'll probably pass it today. Yeah. I'm gonna have to dig out some old saves from my old computer and the before times. Of course, I can't dig any of the ones off the Wii. And I remember as a kid, when I got to 5 stars on my first town, I, like, almost immediately deleted it to start a new one, because I always had, like, 3 towns running at any given time, and I've never gotten to 5 stars again. I've always washed out somewhere around, like, 4-star range. And I'm just like, oh, man. Come on. Why did I delete the original one? But, I don't know. When you're a kid, that wasn't the priority. The other thing I've learned about is I've figured out where the files live on my computer, and I'd love to look into, like, if I can figure out how to open and edit the texture files, I would love to edit, like, an actual Miquella skin into this. I think it would be really fun. I also think there's a very high chance that it will destroy everything. By the way, camera warning, it moves a little fast on this game. Yeah, there we go. Where the heck did we leave off? Ah, Ms. Nicole. Need to get some plum blossoms. I may up the plum blossom counts. I know we gathered some. Oops, right, they're pretty early. But that doesn't give us much buffer, and we want to have the flexibility. Plus, I'm sure we'll need others later. I need to go mine some video games, too. Back into the video game mines. I mean, again, I've got some, but let's give ourselves a little leeway. If I want to go to the mines, I need to... Yes. Video game mines are this way. I feel like this funky top-down view really does make the town feel smaller. Or, not smaller, larger. It makes... Your view is smaller, so it makes the town feel larger. Which is kind of, like... I don't know. It was in the days before they'd really gotten, like, cameras fully, like, standardized and everyone knew what was mostly comfortable with, like, third and first person. And, like, balancing all of that. But But like also, I think it's a strategic choice. Like they didn't just blindly pick an angle and go with it. They found one that made the town feel a little bigger than it was, which was nice. Good with the technical limitations. Boombox. Okay. But I don't know. It definitely makes. I think part of it's an age thing where like when I was a kid, the town felt much larger. But even now, like, I know objectively that the map is not huge. But it doesn't change the fact that it still feels bigger than it is. I mean, it doesn't feel as big as stinking Elden Ring. That would probably be bad, actually. If you're trying to populate Elden Ring, then you're single-handedly managing, you know, like an entire city's worth of people if this map was that big. Maybe several cities. Traversing your town when the only essence you need is in stinking Limgrave and you're all the way up in like the consecrated snowfield and you're just like, oh no. But I wonder how much you could push this game. Like, could you edit in just an absurdly large map? Like, even just like a really bland like city grid. Like, at some point the game's gonna run out of Sims and it's probably gonna crash from like a Knoll character arriving at the hotel. Like, because there's not enough spots for everyone who stops by the hotel. There's always extra people you can't move in. That becomes blindingly apparent in like star level 3 and especially star level 4. Star level 4 unlocks very little space. It does not give you much land to work with. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's see, does that put us over? Oh yeah, 25, okay, yeah. They actually had pretty good drop rates on that one. There's a tiny part of me that feels like the Wii version was actually zoomed in on the character slightly more. Yeah, like that. Yeah, okay, this feels maybe like one up. This feels familiar. It also feels much like in that version, I can't navigate squat. Alright, let's go to the plum blossoms. Let's go proper harvesting. Let's get our like flower count not maxed out, but we're gonna go up there in numbers. My favorite thing part of this is my favorite map. I love this area. It's so calm and tranquil. And it's got so many fun essences. And more than any other area in the game, it feels like they actually designed it to the desert to an extent too, but designed it to progress with you. Like every single time you go up a star level, you unlock more parts of this zone. Like it's bigger, like it's not huge, but it's bigger than it looks, and it has essences in it that you still can't get to at this point. And like the desert does that to an extent too. There's certain areas that there's a little bit that you unlock beyond. In fact, some notable stuff that you unlock beyond, but like once you move into later star levels, but not a ton. I don't know. I guess the well, that would be a spoiler to announce what that zone is. We'll wait on that one. But I don't know. Like this one in particular, just it feels like the one that you end up coming back to the most, because the original city, the stuff that unlocks from it are the other zones, which makes sense. But it also means that like, oops, can't get to it. Sorry. Not gonna question how you couldn't get to the tree you were standing in front of. That's fine. But like, I don't know. Like, every zone has a slightly different feel to it. And I mean, I don't think you can even count the star level 1 zone because it's just like the video games and action figures zone, like that cave, and that's it. But some of these other zones, like it's this one, it really does feel like you get to spend a lot of time with. And it feels like it has so many plots, like for houses, like there are a lot of spots. But I always fill it up so quickly and I'm like, oh, I don't get to come back here for like quests and stuff anymore. It's always like, I'm always slightly disappointed when we wrap this area up. Anyway, we're getting a lot of flowers, but we can try one other method, and I don't entirely know. Partly because I think it's worth demonstrating it because it's weird, and partly because in order to fix the mistake I'm about to make, we're going to get a lot of essences. You may have noticed this fertilize option at the bottom here. Now, normally you would think, oh, applying fertilizer to plant. Good, healthy for plant. I think this is some sort of, like, chemical fertilizer. Like, even chemical fertilizer should we get? I don't know what we're thinking doing to it. We come out here with this, like, crazy spray can, and mist it in, like, purple or pinkish gunk. And then, like, the tree gets sick, and you have to water it, like, 3 times, I think. Like, you get a ton of essences from doing it. But like, I'm not sure it's that many more essences than if you just stood there the whole time and watered it, but I guess it does at least keep it interesting. And, like, eventually it'll heal up. And you can see this little one that we were growing has grown up into a full tree now, and actually a little bit bigger than the other two now. That's interesting. I wonder what determines that. Because I've been watering all of these quite a lot, and these two, yeah, if we can't water it again yet, we'll have to give it a second. Just curious. Very curious. See if we can't get to at least like 25 roses. I know we've got plenty of yellow blossoms. And maybe like 50 plums? This process also felt a lot longer when I was a kid. Nowadays it's just like, oh, I just have to do this a couple of times, and it's like, we're chill. Why is this one so much bigger? Hey, see, it's green again. We're back in the clear. In the green, if you will. Whoops. There we go. I'm gonna have to... All of this, though, like, I'm torn, because there's so many mechanics in this game in particular that I just adore that aren't in any of the others. But I also really want to at least go back to My Sims Kingdom and, like, figure out a way to hook that one up. Because, man... that was a fun game. That was a really fun game. Like, there's some things that it didn't do as well, but like there's other mechanics it did really well, and it takes a lot of stuff from this one and just polishes it. I do remember being a little burnt out on it back when I was a kid, mainly because like it's a little more, well, I mean, it's not that much more quest oriented than this one is. But there's a little bit less flexibility with some of the quests. And it's just like, okay, I'm on this island again, I'm doing this thing. I'm on this one, I'm doing this thing. Like, okay. And like, I remember getting a little tired of the first 2 islands that you unlock. I was like, I don't want to do these again. But it's been ages. One of the things it does much better than this one is the building editors. Like, y'all have seen that the building houses in this one is a little bit rough. Little bit rough. Alright, we've spent a lot of time gathering flowers. Let's go ahead and save. And then make our way back. See, one day we'll get up on those bridges, but I'm pretty sure... Ah! Dance party with the flower. Hey, DJ Candy. What is up? But yeah, see, we got rocks blocking the path up there. Dag nabbit. They are quite green. That's a lot of green happening there. There, it's the flower I just picked from right in front of you. There we go. Inspect. I love how it's got the spot where like someone looks like they've tried to like go at it before and then they gave up. Maybe when you have the right tool. Oh, one of these days. Ah, this island. And they did a good job actually making it inaccessible. I think. I mean, maybe looking at it again with not child eyes, I'll find a way up there. But as a kid, I didn't find a way. We got this. Who puts an iron gate on a bridge like this? I mean, it's a cool tree over there. I want to get in it. Ah, well. Hey, it's Chef Gino. Wow, just chucking bacon on the ground. Oops, I Suddenly cut off the animation early. And if you cut off the animation early, you don't get the results. The relationship change doesn't happen. Which is actually essential for dealing with one particular NPC who gives completely randomized results. And there's no other way to interact with that NPC other than the emotes. So, like, if you want to have any shot at all, you have to, like, learn which animations are going to be bad. And, like, immediately, like, walk out of those the second she starts making them. But we've seen Cassandra already, so we'll see if it comes to that. He can teleport. Oh my. I gotta say, slight disappointment in that it seems like they stop what they're doing if you come too near, but like the only way to interact with what they're doing is to come near them. So like I'm gonna have to figure out that whole deal. Okay, we're up to 4 pages. Woo! We know a whole 16 people. That's a lot of people. Alright, okay, we got Elvira, Clara. Oh, yes! Summer, I think? Something like that. It's been a hot minute on so many of these. Maria, I was not even close. Ah, another foodie. I mean, Buddy should probably have a snack bar if he doesn't already. Here, you can eat this. It's a totally edible flower. 100%. Hey, buddy. Ah, good old buddy. We're gonna have to make some, like, gifts for him at some point, just to keep the hotel, you know, exciting. Because I don't think he ever actually gives you a quest, but he does have blueprints you can unlock if you're nice to him. Like a lot of the towny sims. Oh, wait, let's check on the ghost tree. Yeah, we got ghosties! Woo! One more. Yeah, there we go. Keeping things spooky. And then the thorn tree back here. Have I got anything else that's like plantable right now that we ought to start? Let's see. Oh, right, we can pull some of the things we got off the other island. Ooh, okay. That might be nice to just have a more accessible supply of some of these. I'm gonna go for the ravens. I think it'd be nice to have a raven tree. Plus it's spooky like this one is, so we got kind of a creepy theme going on behind the house. And then only not the best textures. Only because I know I'm going to use a lot of these cube puzzles. I really, really like the cube puzzles. Oh, and it's a metal tree, right? Because it's a nerdy aspect, so they get the metal trees. Oh, that's fun. That'll be fun. I feel like we're sequence breaking a little bit seeing these this early. Like in the base game, before the like online mode and that whole like the stuff you unlock there, like you don't see metal trees until at least like the next star level, which takes a minute. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna save, and then I think we've got some stuff what needs making. Work on a task. Let's look at Ms. Nicole first. Yes, a mirror, okay. This gives us options, and you can see the default blueprint does not call for much. But we do need to leave space for the sim posing, and also for the mirror itself. So let's see, what can we do to make this interesting? I know we had kind of a Bauhaus thing going for DJ Candy, but Ms. Nicole doesn't seem like the sort who would appreciate that. Also, how many? 14. Yeah, okay, this is the point where they're starting to challenge you and like, okay, you gotta figure out how to work these in. Okay. So I'm gonna hazard a guess on the width of this is that it's, actually, no, that would be perfect. We could put like a little arch over the top of it. Maybe we do, well, we can keep this like fairly simple. Although actually, there's a part of me that's wanting to get all Art Deco with it. Let's see. Let's think this through a little bit. And then maybe let's consider getting this all decked out. Those were just for width testing. Let's see, what have we got to... Ooh, okay, that's a thing we could maybe use. I feel like we're going to end up with like a compromised partial deco thing going on, and I'm kind of okay with that. Because if I really wanted to go Art Deco, I would like use these pieces instead of the, you know, what we did use. Tempting. I mean, we couldn't put the arch at the top, though. That's the thing. It wouldn't look good. Ah, this is way too squatty for proper Art Deco. Hold on. One of the fun things about this game, well, fun or terrible depending on who you ask, but because you unlock pieces, like, as one of the things you go, even, like, having played through this a bunch of times, like, you still have to get a little creative with some of these recipes. I mean, assuming you're engaging with the game in any way and you're not just, you know, chucking all the pieces down blindly. Not that that's a bad way to play it either, but not how it's... I don't think it's, like, the ideal, like, optimal way to play it. Then again, who cares what the optimal way to play anything is? Just have fun with it. If you truly enjoy just, like, spamming pieces down, then, like, knock yourself out. This might be too tall. Yeah. Got this nice curved piece we could maybe use. More of like a rolling. Yeah, okay, there we go. I don't know that this can properly be called Art Deco, but it's gonna be a look. By the centerpiece, it's not going to fit anywhere nicely. Okay, come on. There we go. Sometimes you just have to put one where it wants to put it, and then it'll free you up to put it where you actually want to. Now maybe... the problem is I don't know a better way to top it, at least not with the pieces we have. I just have to let it keep going. And I guess we could just do like one more iteration of the pattern. I would put it as the tallest piece. How much space do we have? We do have a little bit, actually. So many options. Not that one, though. I mean, again, we talked about taking this route, where we just, like, have it like this, but I feel like it loses some of the pattern and texture there. Alright, there's a piece I'm looking for. I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, yes. Here we go. So many new pieces to work with. There we go. Now let's try... And maybe do a hard edge. Just have it sort of be like that. Kinda liking that. Alternatively, You can even do a side-by-side comparison here. Oh, that one's too long. Alright, well then, other alternatively, but I think this is going to look squatty and bad too. Is that? Nope, actually kind of vibing with that. Let's do it. It does almost make me want to raise this whole thing up like even one more tier, but so you got like a proper arc, but I kind of like the flattened one too. Okay. Oh, stinging. Obvious choice is obvious. Hold on. That's the wrong tool. Right, I need to be in placement mode. I need to go to the backpack and let us. Well, it's not going to let us center them nicely. But, come on. No magnet mode, just... There we go. Having it be off center kind of stinks, but it is what it is. Now, let's see what colors we got to work with. Ooh, a nice green and a nice magenta. That's right, we were working with this a while ago. Last stream. Should have checked what else Miss Nicole likes. I don't know what other essence would be her deal. Because I feel like party is not her jam. Well, maybe, but probably not. Maybe studious? You know what? Hold on. We can come back and edit it still. Let's take an actual look in the book. Reading Rainbow. Sorry. People. Ms. Nicole. Yeah, studious. Okay. I can maybe work with that. I don't want to cut down any darkwood trees, but edit the mirror. Oh, that's right. This does have a copy and paste function, by the way. Now we don't have the checkbox with us because we left and we're, you know, editing. But actually, we could work on it if we clicked work on a task and then like open existing. I think that we can, like, we'd still be able to see it, but I forgot to do that. So this is where we're at. Okay. Right. Studious, what have we got? Not a lot that are dark, and not many pencils to work with. Okay. Could maybe do like a duo greens thing with the organic. We've gathered an awful lot of that now. Hold on. And then if we do the organic on the inner one, okay, that's kind of an interesting something. Just make sure we use enough plum blossoms in this, and also I think these should, yeah, okay. But it also gives us an excuse to really make these kind of have some kick to them. Oh man, I am just misclicking all over the place. Dang nab. Now, this is wildly gaudy looking, I won't deny. But, you know, kind of fun. I don't think I'm gonna do green on those inner ones. I think that's a little too much. Come back to our studious though. There we go. We could always have like a third tier in here as well. Actually, that's getting more, not really all that Art Deco other than like maybe an Art Deco representation of a vine, but it's kind of getting there. Okay. Now, just to recap, to make sure we have the 14 violets we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we're good. Whew. Okay. We got the one for Miss Vi. Let's save. Okie dokie. And let's work on another task, because I believe Vic Vector asks us for one arcade machine. And on that, I think we can deliver. Now, I also think we can make it a little more fun than this, but let's get the foundation in first. I'm actually going to start this one out by the blueprint. Man, I remember how long the same blueprint used to like take with the old Wii controls. Oh my word. This is a luxury. Not gonna lie. Okay. Whoops. Right, I think that's F3, but yeah, okay. Slide under mode lets us sneak it back in there. However, let's, you know, we can do a little more with this. Maybe not that. Okay, let's see. What would be fun to add? I'm trying to think of, like, the local arcade machines. What sort of stuff they have. Maybe instead of this, let's do that. We can turn off the shadow while we do this. And we can get, like, a frame thing going on here. Maybe with the curves, since they'll fit. Oh, Snap 2 is going to want to attach it to the lower edge of that. There we go. Wow, I really wanted to attach it to the lower edge, huh? Actually, that feels kind of spacey. There we go. I think we're going to want, yeah, double threes. Okay, using my mouse to change the mode up there is not ideal. Oops, that's the wrong piece. Okay, and then we can, you know, that'll be sort of like a glowing light pattern of sorts. What if we, like, rotated that? Yeah, we'll start with that. Let's, we wanted video games for the video games, so we'll make sure to apply some additional video games to his video games. How many are we talking? Okay, I guess I need to be in grab mode to use that button. 10. Okay. Not a problem. We go for like a Space Invaders. Oh, I mean. Ah, okay, no, there we go. I like that. Wish I had kind of a lighter color to work with on that too. There we go. Well, we can check our other nerdy options. RoboFish has some good options. Does Action Figure have it? Ooh, Action Figure might work actually for like. Yeah, okay, there we go. Giving us a little something else to work with. That's not the brightest, but a little bit something to go with it. We'll start with that. Because I have some slight intel that that's probably not the last arcade machine we're going to have to make. Oh, it's definitely not. Let's create something new as well. Hold on, before we do this, let's think about who we want to create something new for. Because, you know, while we're here, why not? We just built a ton of stuff for DJ Candy. I wonder if Poppy could use anything. Likes, let's see, parties and cute. Violet likes parties and spooky. They can bond over partying, I suppose. Let's see. I also don't remember what Violet's house is missing. So how about... Let's see, actually. We could do a podium so they could do like dramatic poetry readings. Very silly thing to have, but why not, you know? We got a lot of good patterns, especially now that we've got... Ooh, hold on. Now, I know we can't go too high above this one. Let's see, here's our testing stick. Yeah, we can't go above it, but we can have stuff on either side of it. Ooh, yes we can. Okay. Just for context, how big are these? Okay, they're quite big. But they'll do nicely, even though their footprint is a little bit weird. That's definitely not on the grid. What? How is it off grid? Oh, okay. Their new sprite isn't like, it's not one-to-one with the grid. It takes up half a grid space. I say new. I'm sure this is ancient. But like, that's wild. Okay, and then I'm gonna lean into the essence decoration on this one. I'm gonna maybe turn off the snapping and the hint grid there. Grab a couple more thorns because I know we have plenty of those from the harvest behind our house. And actually, now I kind of want that to be the top. Like a sandworm. I kind of would rather have it built on this too. Yeah, okay. We're iterating, you know? We'll see where this takes us. This, no, hold on, because we can't make it too tall, or else, you know. Yeah, it needs to be the shorter one. That's okay. Speaking stump. Then I kind of like the idea of just having like perches for these guys. Something like that, maybe. If it'll let me. Slightly too close. There we go. Assume that's part of why they have the tiny, like, foot connectors, is so they can do things like that. Oh, is it? Oh, I don't have something in the center, do I? It's just, I forgot it was going to put that on there. Well, that does slightly undercut the drama, but that's okay. Let's see. I don't think it's going to let us paint that part. What did I just paint? Oh, the little tiny piece inside there. Okay. Other thing is, I think I might swap the sides on these. There we go. One more out. There we go. It'll be dramatically flanked. Okay, this is a bizarre and terrible thing we've made. I look forward to delivering it to its intended recipient. Who's probably gonna feel very about the whole thing, but that is okay. Ghosts. Yes, ghosties. Woo! Have to make some more stuff for Patrick too. I wonder if he needs anything else. She's got the flower stand, she has a bed. Okay, so a dresser would have been a reasonable choice. And a bathroom of any sort. Vidonka fruit? The sim chat. All the plants seem to die. Well, fortuitous. Guess I'm just lucky. Fair enough. Giving thing. Now you can read fan fiction to the plants, and they'll die even faster. Well, there we go. I mean, they say that singing music to plants helps them grow more. If you read them really terrible, like, fan fiction, like, not the good stuff, but, like, actual garbage, I wonder if it would hurt them. That would be bad. Probably bad floraling. Oh, a new flower stand blueprint. Oh, oops, did we accidentally max friendship with her already? Probably not max. Whoops, we did. Okay, well, guess we're buddies with Violet. Fair enough. Ah. Oh, we got hecklers here at the slam poetry contest, do we? Ah, no one in the audience even cares about this. Ah, well. Maybe this literature club isn't going to catch on. We'll see. Mostly just, it's fun when you can build things that have interactions like that. Okay, now Violet gets a chance. Oh, the microphone every time. I swear there used to be like a listen to speech option where your sim could also boo them or cheer them. Of course I built a podium and the mayor shows up. You realize that she's not into the fanfiction readings though. She thought this was going to be like a debate club. Not quite the same deal. I worry I've got the game like a little too quiet now, actually. Let me see if I can. I've got a different audio setup today, so I'm like tweaking it a little bit. Let's update. Well, let's not do SFX too much. Let's do ambient higher though, and the voice is higher. See how that goes.
Tingy Bisselfrib. Vidonka?
Vidonka?
Wagaluchina kua. Atada kua, eh?
Atada kua, eh? That is true. Anyone likes getting gifts. Might even give you something back, like Violet giving us that blueprint, which we'll have to check out. Oftentimes the blueprints they give you are for the things that they have, like it might be this blueprint right here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've actually like buddied up with Violet before. As a kid, I was still like uber nerdy and didn't lean into like the spooky stuff so much. I didn't like, not that I hated them, I never booted Violet out either, I just... Oh, fair enough then. Great conversation, Mayor. Lovely chatting with you too. I say, realizing I did the exact same thing to Violet not even a minute before. Oh well. Okay, let's see. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that was actually a nice bed. That's right, that's a bed. Maybe I should have made the mirror look like a dressing room and continued the theme of stuff that isn't what it seems. can also clip it through the wall. That's exciting. I feel like it belongs back here more with like the plant. We won't clip it through the wall. Well, it's not working. But coming from her, it's probably a vanity. Fair enough. See, like the game's got a little humor to it buried in there. Let's see. Positive reactions? Good. Good. They will react differently if they hate it. Now, if you follow the quest lines, it's rare that they hate it. Although you could, you know, if you drown it with essences they dislike, then you could probably make it happen. Ah. 2 wardrobes. See, glad we got the more flower essences. But we're gonna have to go chop down some trees. Oh, man. As long as we replant, it'll be fine. Need light wood and dark wood. At least 10 of each is only 1 tree each, so that should be fairly manageable. That should be doable. We'll just have to see. Guess I should have started planting some stuff on these farms just so we'd have it ready. Oh well. Oopadoo. What can we plant here? Maybe a book tree. For essences. We could do a cute kitten. I think Violet would hate that. We could, yeah, let's do a pinwheel tree. In honor of the best Dark Souls boss. Yeah. Great. Really, really great boss, that one. To be fair, I don't hate pinwheel. I just, acknowledge the fact that, I love that the pull out, like, graphic changes from a hand to a shovel once it gets big enough. Like, little stuff like that. That's fun. Oh, right, we made a crashed rocket arcade. Oh, we could have made all the arcade machines look like broken rocket parts. That would have been fun theming. He is such a 90s goth. It's great. Okay, let's see. Where should we put this? I think it's reasonable. We'll start against the wall. And the players. Awesome. I hear these days it's in vogue to just charge a one-time fee at the entrance and then make your money off of the food and drinks. Break it in. He's playing. Oh, it's like the friend who breaks out the Nintendo Switch behind you, and like while you're at the arcade, they're just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be playing my Switch instead while we wait for the next round." Plane versus I. Name a more iconic duo. Okay, come on, let's see. Can we do it? Can we do it? Are we gonna beat it, or is this gonna be a bad run? Alright, we're getting some good hits in. Evading pretty well. Kind of figured out... Oh! I was about to say we figured out its patterns, but so much for that. Well, maybe Buddy can have a better go. Anyway, let's join the... Okay, sure, I guess I'll just stand right in front of Buddy while we do this. Don't mind me, just gonna take a screenshot of us being gamers. That did not capture what I wanted to capture. Oh well. We'll just get the whole 9 yards. There we go. Desktop. That's not how you spell stuff. Stuff. There we go. Great file naming convention. Anyway, did you need anything else, Vector? Yeah. Vic. His name is Vic Vector. I don't know why I always call him by his last name. Okay. Oh no, hyperspace drama quest. Well, we can't have that. Lots of action figures for this setup. We'll make this happen for sure. In fact, rather than just making a personal setup, why don't we make like a whole like a theater section in here? And so you can have the gamers, and you can also have like the movie place where they can just chill out. You requested a couch and a TV? I will do you one better. I already got the table for the TV here. We just need like a little partition or something. Let's see. That was all of... Okay, we got 2 new quests. Cool. I am going to crash until the morning, poke my head into the hotel, and then I'm going to advise we all take a little water break real quick. Make sure everyone has a chance to use the restroom and all that jazz, because we've been going for an hour already. Time does fly on these. Grab a few essences, do a couple quests, and bam. Hey, Ray! I think. Jabonibon? Yeah, it is Ray. Cool. It's the only... Oh, like he heard me. Uwu Fanoozy? Don't mind me just casually walking through people's faces. This is fine. This is totally fine. It's... I guess I can't bash... Well, no, I can bash Pokemon Scarlet. Its jank is inexcusable for something that came out 20 years after this. But... I can't bash it that much if I also enjoy this game. Which I do. Oh yeah, oh. I don't know what causes that. Sometimes when you do, like, an interaction... Usually, I find on the trees, your sim will just start laughing and clapping, and, like, it takes a second before you have control of them again. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm going to cut this tree down because we need some wood. And this one is going to be dark wood, which is kind of a pain to get otherwise. Okay, good. We got all 10. Let's stomp the stump out, and let's make sure we replant something here. Let's see. What's in the area? We're behind poppies. She would probably appreciate something cute. Let's do cats. Give it a little water to kickstart. I think that makes it grow faster. I remember I tried to test that when I was younger, but I don't remember what the results were. Well, in any case. They grow pretty quick regardless. See, the pinwheels are already up and going. I guess the suite of cards trees are the party ones. That makes some amount of sense. See, you've got like hearts and spades and clubs and diamonds and pinwheels. Some more ghosts. I'm gonna have to find some projects for the ghosts. That's we're starting to be kind of inundated with them. Possibly too many. Ah, see, there we go. There's that clapping animation again. Maybe Miquella just really likes the yellow blossom. I don't know.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh yeah, these trees always drop a ton at this point. Fully grown and well established. I think maybe let's chop one of these down too. Not the green apple one. Let's do that. Let's try fertilizing it once first. That should still give us the normal wood and not the dead wood, and it gives us a couple of extra essences, if I recall correctly. Okay, good. Yeah, we got light wood. Excellent. That was the wrong button. Still got the orange aura fertilizer here. Let's just replant the apples. It's good to have apples here. Oops, I accidentally animation canceled on that. But it didn't cancel the full action. It's fascinating to me, like, sometimes if you animation cancel just late enough, it doesn't cancel the action, but sometimes it does. I'm sure there's ways to optimize this speedrun that would involve that. And I'm scared of what they would be. Because it would be a lot. Okay. Now, I said we were going to go take a water break and use the restroom, and then I totally forgot about that. I'll be right back. Y'all, highly recommend, make sure to stretch, stand up, don't get stuck in one position too much, and I will see y'all in a couple minutes.
Swizzle. Oh! Gypsa. Posh.
Okie dokie, Lokis, howdies and salutations. We are back. Back just in time to, I think, make some fun more stuff. I planted some Rubik's Cubes behind the house, right? Let's go harvest them first. As some of y'all listening during the break might have... Ooh, heck yeah. Okay, good. We can replenish our Raven collection as well. Wow, this metal tree is massive. Don't know why, but it's very big. Not that I'm gonna complain, though. Lots of good essences. We're well on our way to star level 3 without having Really done most of the stuff that I would normally expect to do by this point. I wonder if they produce more essences if you like as they like get bigger, and if watering them affects them getting bigger. At this point I don't see it getting larger, but it also like I do see a notable size difference between this one, which I planted, and this one, which was already in the world, which was true of the other ones too. Interesting. Lots to think about there. I'm tempted to cut this one down to see what resources it would give us. Like, would we get, like, raw metal or something? I don't remember what these do. Well, we'll deal with that later. Ooh, more cube puzzles. Thank you. Okay, now... Whoa, okay. Now that we got some stuff to work with, we've got some interesting tasks to take on. Let's see, which ones do we want to do? Which ones do we want to work on a task? So last time we ended up more Art Nouveau than Art Deco with all the swirls. Let's see what Classic Dresser does for us first. Well, it gives us a lot of pieces to work with, that's for sure. Give me a second. I am going to open up just an image of Art Nouveau, and we're going to not at all be able to recreate the lovely swirls and fine detailings that it is so famous for. O-U-V-E-A-U, that's right. French. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of something. Wow, okay, that's actually kind of relevant. Ooh, that would be a fun one to maybe aim for. Cool, let's start with something like that. It'll be interesting, if nothing else. First off, where am I allowed to not put things? There. Okay. Yep, that's about what I expected. Actually, that does mean, however, I can put stuff inside it. Well, hold on. I need to make sure this probably has drawers that generate on it, right? I think it does. I'm just gonna hit all of the little essence stars real quick. Yep, okay, drawers on the front. Cool, I'm gonna put the Art Nouveau pattern on the back, and try to use it as a sort of changing area thing so that you can see the back patterns as well. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome, we have a course of action to take. Let's see what all we can manage with this. Actually, I'm going to use the narrower ones. But yes, the thing it reminded me of, I've discovered, well, I was about to say a new series. It's not that new, but it's new to me. A new manga series that I have been really enjoying. The story's a lot of fun and the characters are well written, but also the art is just gorgeous. And it's called Witch Hat Atelier. And like, I don't know, it's just really charming. Oh, it's ASIM. We can go wide on this. I've got a ref open that I'm sort of modeling this off of, but like, the concentric, but like not centered circles is very much an Art Nouveau thing. I just, unfortunately, there's limits to what I can do with the tools at my disposal. Because I don't think this is going to look particularly great. Well, it's not a bad look, but it's not really an Art Nouveau look. And then this would match up with the other one, in that it's not centered on this. Yep. Okay. This one could be centered, though. Or rather, off-centered. I'm just messing with things. Let's see where this goes. Brainstorming, as it were. Oh, right, and we've got, like, the little ones, too. We have a lot of circle options. They're just not all on the same screen. Well, that's certainly, something. Looks more like a woman in a wig. there's the face, and we've got like, I guess that could be like one of those old judges in a wig too. Anyone? Really? Let's see. Man. Circles and curves are kind of a challenge in this game, and it's well, it's just a grid, isn't it? But yes. Yes. But yes, Wish had Atelier. Like, I can't get over the art, but it's partly Art Nouveau inspired, which is what made me think of it. It's also got a lot of Mobius in it, which Mobius's art is stinking wild, but I love the line work. There's a lot that's very charming to it. And like also otherworldly. Like it manages to do both well. I think I've just been overusing the word charming lately is actually the real answer here, but we can deal with that later. That's not going to be wide enough. Nope. The doubles of these are. Come on, you're almost in there. Imagine doing this with a Wii controller. Yep, there we go. Well, that's very modern looking. Not actually bad either. I don't hate that. It's not at all what we were, you know, aiming for, but I don't hate it. Now there's the caveat of, actually, I don't think we smoothed the top. Like, we could try to do, like, arcs and stuff, but we're gonna get a weird corner on here regardless. And in any case, I think part of the appeal of what we've stumbled into, while not at all Art Nouveau, is the sleek modernness of it. There we go. Slide under mode always gets a little finicky around these parts. It wants to slide a lot more under. There we go. So sometimes you have to, like I was saying earlier, you put something where it's trying to put something, and then it's like, oh, okay, that place is occupied now. We must look elsewhere. Sorry about those bumps. That's me changing the modes every time I do that. If I had planned this month more, like, you know, a little more in advance than I did of MySims, I would have tweaked the overlay a little bit to work better for it. Ah, well. I don't think we're going to be able to replicate the drawer particularly well, but doesn't mean we can't try. Might mean we shouldn't try, but it doesn't mean we can't. Looks more like a computer screen. Especially when the lighting is being like that. Yeah, that doesn't fit in style at all anymore, unfortunately. But we'll just have to remember it and maybe apply it to the other one. Because I'm kind of looking this modern, oversized craziness look. Now, this needs a lot of essences. This one needs the dark wood and the rose. Perfect. That is exactly what I would be wanting for this. We'll see if the dark wood gets us a dark enough color. That's pretty good. Okay. So let's use that for a lot of these. Oh, I'm out. Okay, we'll be more strategic with it. I have to remember we have a lot more rows to work with. That's interesting. Very interesting, actually. So maybe we actually do... Yeah, I think this will line up better with the resources we have. Alright, hold on. Yeah, we have plenty of rows then. So now it's just a matter of using the dark wood just where it's needed. Which I think some nice vertical takes there will be nice. Maybe the drawers. One more. Functionally two more though. So I'm actually going to go for these little pieces. And we're going to use the rows as an intentional accent piece. Color. Here. That's not exactly right, but it'll do. For now. There we go. I just feel like we ought to have something of note up there, but I also kind of like the sleekness of it. Wish we had a little more control over the drawers, but is what it is. Right, hold on. Party patterns, anything that would be suitably weird for this? Not super. Wish we had a tiny bit more dark wood. Oh well. Yeah, that's almost like too much. Kind of overshadows the dark wood now. Now, I mean, you could do something like that, but I don't think that would super work. And the patterns, that kind of works. What about the other flowers? Have we got another flower pattern that'll work nicely, or something else mayhaps? Feels a little stark for kitty cats. Alright, she likes erudite. Not party. This might be esoteric enough. Just sort of acknowledging them as their own thing. I think that kinda works. Let's go with that. And then I'm kind of thinking let's maybe create a matching one, actually. So work on a task. This is Nicole. Dresser with light wood. We'll start with Dresser Classic again. But let's make something similar. I actually think that this might be a fun like pair to have. We don't want slide under mode on right now. There we go. I won't let me multi-place all of those. Ah, well. It just feels like a matching set kind of thing, you know? I should have done this one before I built the other side. Bam. Okay. Let's get those new curves that we've got. Lots of nice ones. Oh yeah, I guess only pieces I haven't used yet sparkle. That's interesting. Some of these may end up sparkling a while, because there's some pieces that I don't use a lot, but you'd be surprised how many are going to get used most likely. Okay. Should have done the lower one first. Because sliding under is something it still struggles with. So remember that. We'll use these big curves for something. We'll find a place for them. Just not quite yet. Okay. So to match what we did last time, but this time I believe the requirement is the plums, yes? Yes, okay. So we had the red, so maybe the green would actually be a better choice. It's a really vibrant green is the thing, so I'm a little hesitant, but like... Alright, okay. Well, I've overpainted slightly, but we'll get the light wood in here, and then... Oh, I already had 10. Well, that works out well. Let's see. Kind of liking this more muted one. Let's compare, though. Because this one's a little warmer. This one does feel like it would fit her shop better. Being honest. Yeah, we can remove the ghosts. Okay. Then... let's see. We could possibly do the terracotta drawers to match. Or we could do stone, perhaps. It's a little too blue in hindsight, yeah. Okay. Terracotta works well. We could do the other one, but I actually think this kind of works. We could put those back to back and just have a tower of clothes. This is going to be very interesting, whatever it is we've done. Okay. You know what, actually, let's go deliver that now. I have questions. Power column. Guess she was still out and about. Okay. So we could do them side by side in this room, and that would be all well and good. And it's probably the right choice. So instead of that, let's at least consider option B of weird clothing obelisk. Miquella wear. Miquella wear. Be a nice one. So last year, anyway. So, that is certainly one option. Another option would be to sort of, like, make them a corner piece of sorts. Like, where no one gets back there, it's just, like, a monument in the corner. And then, of course, we could also just go with the fairly decent, put them next to each other, have them as parallels. Oh, did we not go with the terracotta on the front of that one? Oh, okay, well, that's a little jarring then. We'll complete this quest again. In the meantime, please accept this cat as a consolation gift. I don't know where I should put this. It'll be by the door to greet guests. And we'll finish the quest in a second. I'll come back. Yep, I know, Shonkaloob. Just realized, like, SimSpeak would be really either amazing or terrible pet names for, like, a significant other. Like just calling out, like, Shonkaloob! Okay, hold on. Edit this. We must make it... it must be perfect. There we go. Now it matches. You can't have a non-matching matching set. Would be positively absurd. It's certainly not with the times. And we'll go ahead and get her next quest, which might be her last one. We'll see. That could put us a fair distance on the star level. No, wait, I must give you things before you sleep. Okay. Waking up, big stretch. So, fun things is that A, you unlock more outfits as well as you befriend people, or as you pull the drawer out of your own dresser. Dagnabbit, I just built that!
Oh, Baruni.
But you can change your outfits and stuff, and also your face. Okay, so remembering this is where we started, because the mayor has given us, like, Western wear. Okay, I guess we don't get the full selection. We just get all of these Western wear options. Alright, these are pretty great. Let's leave it as is for now. Oh no, there's hats! You can just give yourself like a startled expression. Why is this the... So your options are whatever you start with, or thinking like startled Owo face. Oh no. Oh dearie me. Well, let's stick with this for now. It's good that it has a revert option. The options they give you in this game are just so ridiculous. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna figure it out. This game does have cheat codes to unlock more outfits. Maybe something to consider. I think the mirror gives us access to the same, yeah, it's just the same change look. Gotta do some poses. Got different music. Oh, this takes us to our more traditional set. We can turn into Vic. Or Guy Fieri, possibly. Oh, there's Clara's outfit. A few other options. Actually, probably a lot of options. Hope the clicking isn't picking up. Oh man, this game has so many options. I wish that well, I'm sure there are games that have this kind of character creator power in them. Oh, that feels like a taller version of what we've been normally wearing a little bit. But like all the other games I play are all just like medieval stuff. Ooh, business professional. Oh yeah, there's a lot of options. It'd be fun to mod additional outfits in. Like, you can tell there's a couple of base, like, texture, like, or objects that they map to. And so if you could figure out how to add one, that would be a lot of fun. Okay, so there's where we started. But I'm kind of feeling the, Wait, that one had... the gloves. Oh my word. Okay, sorry. Whoops. Okay, hold on. We'll get there. There's too many of these, maybe. Feeling like the slightly longer version. Kind of vibing with that. Let's do that. Got a little more pattern to it, but you know, it works. Okay, sorry to wake you up, but I feel like you're having a nightmare about something that I might be able to help with, namely flowers and the pencil through the hair. Ah, okay. The changing booth. Now, little secret, that is the whole reason I invited her into the town. Well, that, and I think she's like a fun shop to have on the town square. But, alright, we got Cat now. Cat. Anyway, yes. But, unless I'm mistaken, you can invite other Sims to that and also change their outfits. So it becomes like a character customization creator dealy bop for like everyone in the town, which is a lot of fun. Oh, that's right, the new essences that aren't like from the base game, instead of just rotating on one axis, they like rotate on all three. And they have like a little more physics to them when they fall. Like the apples don't do this. If we go to the apple orchard back this way. I know it's the town garden, but all they grow in it are apples. Or even the ghosts. Like ghosts, they just fall straight down and then they rotate around that vertical axis. Which I actually kind of like a little more. The apples do too. These do, but awkwardly. Like the axis they rotate around is like behind the apple. It works. But the new ones, they'll just tumble all over the place. And the pinwheels all just like kind of plop on the ground awkwardly. It's funny. Okay, well, I bugged out the visuals there a little bit. But that's okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot we moved her in with the whole, like, pig and cow farm. Oh, it's even got, like... The music's fitting. Okay. Oh, yeah, see, look, the pinwheel just kind of tumbles over. But then it still rotates around that axis. It just, like, also has physics beyond just plopping to the ground. I don't know what's going on with that. It fascinates me, the decision that was made there. I don't hate it. It's just kind of funky. Like, see, thorns rotate around central axis. These guys, though, mostly do that except the one that fell through the ground. What on... You know what? Sure. That's fine. I wonder if they had, like, one animator or, like, modeler or something who, like, enabled different axes for the models they created, and so, like... I don't know. Just what? Okay, Poppy. just doing some squats over there behind the bench. Oh, jeepers. I think flowers is a reasonable choice, Poppy. Even if all the other choices were animals, that's probably fine. It's... Alright, let's get Vic's thing going first. We need to make this fun. He wants like a big... You know what? Yeah, actually, let's go make a big old honkin' CRT. Oh, jeepers. I don't want to sound like an old obnoxious person, but like, I feel like most people do still know what these are, but I feel like most like kids these days probably wouldn't recognize this TV except through all of the pop culture references. Sort of like people still know what a floppy disk looks like, they just don't know what a floppy disk is, but it's the save icon. So people still would recognize one. And then, you know, once you're, like, at some point you get introduced to floppy disks, of course, because it's just like a pop culture knowledge thing. Well, I mean, my school, that's what we used in our computer lab still. They weren't fully dead. But they also weren't the floppy ones. They were like the 3.5-inch ones, not like the big 7s and 8s. Okay. Hold on, he wants like 10 action figures on this thing? We can make that happen. But I also kind of want to frame this a little more. Yep. I feel like I've just gone the wrong way like 4 times, but that's fine. Here we go. Just that way whatever we put on the screen won't be visible back here. I mean, there'll be an actual screen in front of it, so it doesn't matter a ton. But, like, I don't know, I kind of like having it all built out properly. Okay, 10 action figures, that's right. Well, one of those we're definitely just gonna, like, plop on top of it, but the other ones, let's see. I mean, if we want it to be like a classic TV color, I mean, there we go. And then we can add like a fun little frame to it, because why not, you know? I mean, we have action figures to spare, and I think it'll make Vic like the thing more, although I can't be certain of that. There we go, painted those through it. So that gives it a little bit of a arm still. And then of course we can put this action figure on top of it. What else is something we can put on here? Let's save the rocket. Those are stinking hard to get. I'd probably like a UFO. Just some sit-arounds, you know? That one, I don't know, it's been a long time since I made a stinking VCR. Well, that wasn't the VCR, it was, you know, you plug a VCR into that. Actually, what I want to make is, bibby-doo-doo. I want to add, like, a little panel so they can make, like, a movie theater zone, basically. And it's definitely not part of the original request, but it's something I'd like to make. So maybe just sculpture, maybe shelf. We could make it a shelf. A shelf? I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Shelf. Pardon. But, it can be like the manga section. This is not the... I wanted a bookshelf. Do I have to invite Elvira in to get a bookshelf blueprint? Dag nabbit. Okay, hold on. Finish later. The image was the bookshelf blueprint? Oh. Oh well. Okay. Perhaps instead of that, we can do vertical sculpture? Wall cabinet would have to hang on the wall. Pardon me. Yeah, let's do vertical sculpture. And let's just make like... We can still make it like a manga shelf. I love the... So the sculptures are basically the free-for-all, whatever you want to make section. Which is really nice that they have. Yeah. So let's... Okay. Let's just make a big old panel wall, basically. I've gone the wrong way entirely. Yeah. Let's see how far it's going to let us push this. How wide can we go? Okay. We're going to be pushing this to its weird limits and just doing some interior design. This might be too big. We'll see. Boop-a-doo. Alright, hold on. There's the piece. I figure why not make it, you know, actually shelves. Now let's go for narrower shelves, though, I'm feeling. Other way. One more. You reckon that would be too narrow? Actually, the thing that determines this is probably books. Might want the shelves to be like one more wide. That's okay. I'll add like a little edge to them. That'll be fine. Yeah, the sculpture objects are really nice because there's this one. And then there's another one that can wall mount. So if you have something that you want to like affix to a wall and you just want to make a decoration or like some weird specific little odds and ends thing, yeah, they got the tools for that. I doubt, is it gonna? Yeah, I figured once you're off the circular platform, it's usually not at all. It's not chill with you building more stuff, which is fair. I wonder if it'll even let me affix anything to this. Like, well, like underneath, like on this edge. Yeah, I didn't think so. I can't even see the top of this. Put a puzzle cube on here. There's some other nerdy stuff too, you know? Why not? Couple action figures. They're display cases. Guess an electric eel. Why not? Not car tires though, but a UFO would be fun. Now what I kind of want to do is make it believable that this would stand up at all and try to stabilize it, but I don't know that I actually want to take up the space required for that. So instead I'm just gonna build some side tables for the couch maybe. Well, but then we have to make sure we don't make the couch too wide. In any case, this whole thing might be too wide, so we'll see. Okay, that's a pretty good color for that. And then we can... Ooh. Gonna get a little bit of pattern going in there. Then... Oh, I really like that one actually, though. And then maybe we'll make the rest of it a little less busy. Because you have to remember the whole arcade is already pretty dark. So if we want this to be like an accent wall, we could do this. But it also might be better to, I don't know, just do like the fun little Rubik's pattern on the actual shelves there. Yeah, that might be better. It's not gonna let me paint there because these guys are on it. There we go. To sneak in. You can always car tire these up. It actually looks like sticking like alpha shelving now. Oh dear. Well, this is a thing. I guess what we could probably safely do is put like a little decor up above here. Like, well, A, we're gonna have to put a dragon on the shelf now that I've realized that's there. I don't care if it's spooky, it's a dragon. And then let's put like a little UFO, sort of like, it'll be like a light up here. We'll pretend. And I mean, yeah, I mean, okay. Chill there, little buddy. Oh dear, the percentage on this might be getting a little excessive. 77% geeky. Oops. Well, let's at least keep the book collection going strong. Physics of that feel worrying. One more. We planted a tree of these, I think. If not, I'll use the last one to plant a tree. And we can always go get more. It's just, you know. This seems like a good time for a robo-fish. Actually, the robo-fish is seeming a little large. The tires are so big, too. That makes it look like the whole thing can roll. Okay, let's they do like a little stack of puzzle cubes down here. Just, you know, kind of pouring out over onto the floor. Okay, that silly thing is built. Oh, and we're close to the end. Okay, well, why don't we work on that couch a little bit real quick? Okay, good. I think we've still got enough action figures. We've got Couch, Couch Club, and Couch Funky. Where did we get Couch Funky? Oh, okay. Admittedly, that's very cool, but I don't think that's what we want to use. If we get Roxy in here, we're definitely using that for her ice cream parlor, though. Let's look at the club couch, because I don't remember. Whoa! Okay. This might have pieces we don't have yet. Because I don't think we have the spheres. Or else I would have used those a few times already. Yeah. And also I'd kind of just rather custom entirely if I'm going to do that. And keeping in mind, the blueprints don't change the functionality of, well, I mean, like, different types of furniture have different functionality, but like a couch is a couch is a couch as far as I'm aware, unless there's like some special custom ones that are like unique. Work on a task, pick vector, couch. Just a couch. We'll go from here. I do think I kind of want like a heavier weight couch. And by that I mean like I want the design to sit really like heavy and low to the ground, not like literally like the couch needs to weigh more. Something we do have are these pieces finally. Oh, thank heavens we finally have these. They make couches so much better. Of course, they do run into the slight hiccup of figuring out how to do this part, but that's okay. I don't think we want slide under there. I think we just want it to not snap, and then maybe it'll be, like, not ghost. Okay, come on, work with me, but... Fine, I'll just move the edge for a second. All's well that ends well. We're probably gonna have to move the edge again when we go and, you know, do the back here, but that's okay. I'll have kind of a low back couch, but that'll be kind of fun. It'll have the big wall behind it, so you know, that'll work. Now I really might need slide under mode for what I've gone and done there. Oh, nope, okay. You know what? We'll use slide under mode if we need it. Let's get the nice cushions going in here. No like weird sharp edges, no funkiness. But yeah, definitely slide under in order to get in there. Yeah, okay, there we go. That is what that mode is for. This, however, is not. I need to turn it off again. Okay. We want this to be something that would be actually comfortable to watch like a full movie on. We need this to have a little more... Oh, I mean, we don't need to raise that part up, but let's get like a little more back support going. Like, come on. Especially like fantasy movies, like Lord of the Rings extended cut. We might be on like a 12-hour marathon. This needs to be a comfortable stinking couch. I don't know why I did the underside like this, but it's a choice I've made, so we will just work with that. That said, I do feel like we should get like at least a little bit of a like kind of like retro wing feel going on this dude. Ah, okay, yeah, I was right. One back, one back, one back. Yeah. We can do like a smaller one in the front. That was just not turning the direction I wanted it to. Turn it into like the shield generators on Hoth. It was always a cool design. At least I thought so. Granted, I was biased by an extremely fun tower defense game that tragically is no longer available, called, I believe, Defense of Hoth? Something like that, and it was the first tower defense game I played, and it still had, I think, the best mechanics of any of the ones I've played. It was so good. Because, like, it had a lot of little quality things that are really, like, don't get me wrong, I love Kingdom Rush and that whole series. It's a great series. It's just, I feel like Kingdom Rush is the ultimate for, like, there's a bunch of different subtypes, but if we're simplifying it, the way I think about tower defense games, there's kind of two main subtypes. There's the ones where you can place the towers anywhere you want, and then there's the ones where there are set locations where you can put them. Kingdom Rush is like the best of the set location ones. Like it is just amazingly well executed. It's grand. I feel like the Battle for Hoth one was the best of the free placement ones. Partly because the enemies could fight back. So, like, you were actually having to be dynamic about it. And, like, you left openings to control their pathing, but they would shoot back and you had to manage shield generators and different things to protect your own towers. And it meant that the path was very dynamic because sometimes they would punch a hole through it. And, like, I don't know. It was... That mechanic is something I just haven't seen replicated in a satisfying way in any other tower defense games. And, like... I don't know, it feels like it'd be a really... It feels really cool to me. I'm a little surprised I haven't seen it anywhere else. Glad we gathered so many snakes. I don't remember when... Oh, right, we were absent-mindedly just fishing for, like, ages. That's right. I do actually need action figures in this for it to, you know, qualify. There we go. I'm out of action figures. That's fair. I've been going a little ham with all of these. Actually, I feel like it'd be better if the action figures were just some detail work under there. Like maybe like the underlighting here. Yeah, there we go. So then I can afford to undo that one. Okay. And then I just need to find some fun stuff for the sides. And not at all worry about the fact that I'm going to use up all of my nerdy essences right before I'm probably going to need them desperately. That's okay. He is going to super love these though, I hope. Man, I forgot to check what his other thing was. Like, what else did he like? Was it goth? Was it... Maybe it was food? Let's check. I don't know that it'll make that much difference, because this is a quest item and not just a random gift. But, still want to make people happy. And no, I need to look at people, that's right. In the right place after all. Spooky. Okay, good. Not cute. Awesome Elf 42. Very real. Edit the item. The couch. Edit. Yeah, we do not have the essences to make a copy of this. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, good. Now that we can tap into our spooky stash, which we actually have a pretty good stash of. Really thought we'd have a better sort of white color from the ghosts, but that's okay. This sort of alternating light gray is all that I really needed from this. I think I like the slightly muted one better. It's not, yeah. No, there was one thing I accidentally painted, right? Somewhere right there. Okay, yep. Good news is about painting over things is you get the original essence back, which is really nice. It would be a real pain if, like, every time you had to rethink your paint scheme, it you were just out whatever essences you popped on it. That would be real bad. Okay, Vic, let's do a late night arcade delivery and get you set up. And we are just an FYI, since the star icon, I don't know where I was standing relative to that door frame for a second there, but since y'all can't see the city progress, we are about halfway to star level 3, so we're making good time. With the note that stuff tends to slow down a lot once we get to 3 and then 4. The rate at which you gain points drops quite rapidly. Can't even place it on there. That Yahoo was very Mario of you. Okay, well, let's just scoot the table. We'll just have a floor-based TV. Some people will sit in front. It'll be a fun time. I think it's mostly because the TV's too wide and the table is too close to the wall. Okay, there we go. We've got our sort of like set-in wall for our theater area, which is probably still a little too big, but that's okay. If I did this again, I would only make it 3 panels. But, you know what? No, hold on. Let's just set this like a little ways away and then try this again. There we go. And we can set up the couch right in the center. Oh, it doesn't quite line up because we added that centerpiece. Oh, that's fine. We'll just nestle it in like a little more. 9.3 points of coolness? I am down for that. Arcade game blueprint that is bind on pickup. Well, so much for our inventory space. Thanks, bud. Really appreciate that. We're gonna have to like make a row of these off to the side if we do more of them. Oh dear. May have to rethink the layout here a little bit, but that's okay. Is there some random nerdy like essence that I can just like set on the floor here too? We'll throw a ground snake. Why not? Oh dear. That might skew our relationship progress with Vic a little bit, but that's fine. Now, as I recall, I think there is actually a way to be able to like watch the TV while sitting on the couch, but you have to place them the exact right distance apart. Or perhaps it's simply just a matter of... Oh yeah, we can watch TV. Yeah, just standing in front of it. That's fine. Oh, are we watching One Piece? Because I feel like Moby Dick wouldn't be entertaining enough for that laughter. And then we can just like crash on the couch. This is actually kind of a cozy setup. Like a little bit of wall art right there, like a movie poster or something, and like maybe a curtain on that side. And this would be a lovely movie theater in the arcade. Okay, sorry, have to wake you up one more time. Because I suspect you might need something else from me. Star Cruiser X Marathon. Oh yeah, okay, no, we need snacks. You're absolutely right. Yeah, no, absolutely. If we want people to keep coming, we need a snack zone. We might have to move the whole counter like over back a bit and put arcade machines in front of it. Well, it'll be like an authentic arcade where everything's just like slightly too cramped in. That'll be fine. Whew, okay, well, we are a little over time even. Makes up for some of my rambling at the beginning. And I think that's gonna do it for today. I mean, we got a lot done. We actually made pretty good headway. We made solid progress on the quests. Gathered a lot of essences. And more importantly, made it sustainable, so we'll gather a lot more of them. I am gonna go make sure I plant that last book, actually, just to be safe. In hindsight, I think I actually didn't plant any of those yet. So, actually, no, she would like it. And this is kind of a nice little area for like a Victorian garden with some romance and a tree made of books. This tree is going to exclusively grow Pride and Prejudice. And it will be loved for it. I like these little, like, just spots in the town. Like, it adds this little bit of character that's really nice. Okay. Before we crash there, last task of the day. Final task. Final V2. We'll get there eventually. Just want to poke my head in, see who we got. Okay. So maybe the sim that I've been waiting for is actually a Town Hall 3 sim. That's very possible. Extremely possible, in fact. So we'll just wait until we get there. We'll water our book tree. You can already see, okay, yep, it's starting to get its funky chessboard, checkerboard shape, which also I think is a little bit out of place for Star Level 2 normally, but that's okay. I do wonder how intentional some of the like progression of things you unlock in this game is, because the tree types are just associated with the essence category, whether it's like funny or nerdy or whatever. Like the tree shapes is just based on that. So I don't know why, like this one's studious. I'm fairly confident. Yeah, because the books are. But I don't know why, in the base game, they really do dole those out pretty slowly. Like, you find funky little caves and niches with different types of trees, and it's all, like, clearly intentional, and then in, like, the bonus area, it's just, we had a bunch of essences we wanted to add, so here you go. But it's fun, though. In any case, we will be continuing with MySims the rest of this week, and frankly, the rest of this month, just because chaos, like we talked about at the start. But yes, no stream tomorrow, yes stream on Thursday, and we will go from there. So, I hope y'all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whenever it may be, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Have a good one.